Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to Books My Quiet Friends. My name's Sydney. Today we will be doing a tag because it's way too late in the day to be doing anything else. The tag I'll be doing today is the TBR tag by a profession called Books, and I will leave her link to her blog down below. So I actually saw this tag on Books and Lala a couple weeks ago, and I figured it would be a fun one to do, what with me changing the way I do my TBR anyways. The first question is, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? So I have jars, as you guys may know from my last TBR, and I pull books out of those jars and then put them in order to read. So there's 2 newer releases, 2 older releases, and then 1 most anticipated, and then kind of what else I'm feeling that month if I get through those. Question number 2 is, are most of your books in print or are they on ebook? As you may be able to see beside me, most of my TBR is in print. I don't really care for ebooks. They're okay for some people, but personally I prefer a physical book. Question number 3 is, how do you determine what to read next? And as I mentioned, I have these cute little jars beside me. Ooh, there's the other one. And I pull out what I plan to read next each month. Before that I was doing 1 newer release and then 1 older release and alternating, but that wasn't really working so well for me. Time for some change. Question number 4 is a book that's been on your TBR the longest. And for me, that book isn't actually here, it's still at my parents', and that's My Sweet Adrene by V.C. Andrews. My mom got me into V.C. Andrews at a very young age, as I've mentioned in previous videos. And that book's been just hanging out on my shelf waiting for the time when I'm feeling brave enough to get to it, I guess. Question number 5 is a book that you recently added to your TBR. I recently bought Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, and I bought this off Book Outlet. It's the most recent purchase I think I've made, and I'm very interested to see what happens in this book. I've heard her books are gripping and heartbreaking, and all the good things, but also the horrible things, like good ratings, but I'm gonna feel all the feels. Question number 6 is a book that's on your TBR strictly because of the beautiful cover, and for that one I have, come off the bookshelf, come on, be my friend. Glitter by April Lynn Pike. Oh, I even got it right on the first try. I don't know what it is about this cover. It's both a mix of like the cheesy person, but also just like the strange whites. I don't know. I just think it's so pretty. I do plan to read it. It's in the jars. It's just not on there strictly because I was interested in what it might be about. And honestly, most of these books might be on my shelf for that reason. Question number 7 is a book you never plan on reading. And for me, I don't understand the point in buying a book if you don't plan on reading it ever. But I'm gonna go with a book that I wasn't planning on reading, but then I found a cheap enough edition, so now here it sits on my shelf. Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon. I've heard a lot of hype about this book. I've also heard that it's slightly problematic, so I wasn't really sure what to think, but I haven't heard the whole plot, so I'm interested to get to this one. And it's not very long. It'll probably tear me apart, but I mean, why not live your best life in tears and turmoil and reading your book and crying, right? No? Anyone? No? Question number 8 is a book on your TBR that is the most recommended to you by everyone, and that would be Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. My copy's actually on my bedside table because if I stare at it long enough, maybe I'll get to it. Yeah, my cousin, my other family members, a lot of people. BookTube in general, read it, I know, read it. That or Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I'm trying. I'll get to it, I promise. It's in the most anticipated jar. Some month it will happen. Question number 9 is a book on your TBR that you are dying to get to, and for me, I don't have this copy yet. That is Aquawar by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, I know it's out. Yes, I've read the first 2 books. I want to reread the first 2 before I go into this last one with our main characters. So I haven't bought it yet, but I will get to it. I promise it will be a hard, rough month to read through them all, but I will do it. It will happen. I'm thinking probably July or August if I don't get spoiled before then. And question number 10 is, how many books are on your TBR? So since I have 2 shelves, one at my parents' and one here, I will just count all the books that I have in my room right now that are on my TBR. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125 Oh, and after all that, I found I have 101 books here alone that are on my TBR. So that's only going to take forever. But I mean, we're trying. Tell me about your TBR down below, and if you're interested, you're tagged in this video. Have a good weekend. Bye!